Well, good morning, everyone. Don Cramer with the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. Welcome to a short version of Coffee with Cramer and Colleen. So we are here. It's Wednesday. It is weekly stats time. And like I said, it's a short version. So what are we doing today for coffee? It's espresso. So just got the little Nespresso machine out there. Got one of the little pods going. So we're going to do some concentrate. Got a little sugar in the raw here. Just I'm not a espresso straight up fan unless the situation calls for it, I guess. But anyway, hey, do me a favor if you're new to this channel or tuning in or like to tune in with your favorite breakfast beverage. Take a selfie. Let us know what you're drinking. Take a picture of your favorite coffee mug. If it's Starbucks, do us a favor. Just kind of a little toast to you out there. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. So we are weekly stats day today, and we've got some interesting news we want to go over because the news continues to be positive. And then we're going to look at the week over week numbers. We're going to dive a little deeper as to the change over the last week and what's going on in each sort of pricing segment throughout the Las Vegas Valley in single family homes. So let's get started here with the first slide. So right now, this week, we entered the week with 5,954 homes for sale, with 5,833 traditional, 54 short sales, and 67 foreclosures. We're down 2.3% from the previous week. So we were at about just shy of 6,100 homes on the market last week. We're now 5954, so again 2.3% decrease. Now under contracts, demand is continuing to grow. So week over week we had a 4.5% increase. So we went from 3,080 homes for under contract to 3,220 properties. So again, we're still continuing to climb. That's a good, strong, healthy number, especially in light of our current inventory levels. So we also, of those, 3,050 are traditional sales, 122 foreclosures, and 122 short sales and 48 foreclosures. So the short sales and foreclosure market is still pretty much maintaining as a very small portion of the total Las Vegas real estate market. Now, other couple key stats we're continuing to monitor are back on markets. That number's kind of stayed pretty consistent, plus or minus a little bit, at around 164 homes this last week back on market. So those are homes that were off market, maybe under contract or possibly temporary offline because of COVID. Sellers maybe wanted to hold off. So now they're back active. And price decreases $595 this last week. Now the median home price, we're getting ready to probably see as we wrap up May and the stats come out, probably a jump from the 310 number, but we've been kind of holding at 310 for our May numbers. Now, where we're going to jump up to is going to be kind of interesting. We had a broker forum yesterday at the office, and there was a little bit of, there was a group that thought, we're going to drop from 310, maybe down to 305, 307. There was a segment that thought, okay, we're going to stay steady. And then another segment, and I kind of felt this way, that because demand was continuing to increase, especially noted in the second half of May with the under contracts picking up, we might see a tick upward. I was thinking maybe about from 310 to 314, 315, but we're going to be very curious to see once Las Vegas Realtors Association publishes the May numbers. Now, moving into the second slide here, our week over week changes. Again, very interesting notes here. So new listings, we had 704 homes hit the market over a 7-day period. Again, as you see, the back on markets and the price decreases. Now the under contracts, those are the shows and the no shows, that went up over that 7-day period, 928 homes. Let me repeat that, 928. So if we put that in relation to listings, over a 7-day period, we put 224 homes into contract than we did on the market. So again, that's where we're seeing the demand for buying a home right now continuing to tick upward, and inventory not quite keeping pace. So that's been showing itself now for a couple of weeks. So when you think about it, it's our COVID and everything going on over, let's say, we started in mid-March. We're almost just over 2.5 months in. We started here in a very aggressive market. We dove down, we flattened out, and we've been climbing back up since. But the climb and rate of climb are starting to pick up speed and momentum. And a lot of that, a couple of factors. One, unemployment. The state unemployment director last week noticed a slight tick down in new unemployment filings and carryover unemployments. Now, we're still awfully high. They're saying we're about a third unemployed right now, but that number started to tick down this Friday. The hotels, the casinos reopened, so we want to really monitor those numbers. Second big factor, interest rates. If you haven't tuned in, either on our Facebook page or go to our YouTube channel, Cramer Group Real Estate, and check out our video with Melissa Despy with Nevada State Bank yesterday, where we caught up on what's going on in mortgages. A good an example of, a mortgage, an FHA mortgage that, was basically, 3.5 points down, FHA, and you're looking at an interest rate at or below 3%. Even a standard conventional loans, we're still seeing in the low 3% ranges for new purchases. So the very low interest rate, historically low interest rates are what's driving the market. And as we go into a couple of future episodes, we want to dig into some of the news about how this go around, where housing may be the catalyst to recovery versus the causation of a recession like the last go around. So that's some of the news going around, and those are some of the factors that we're kind of seeing bearing out as we monitor the Las Vegas housing market and the housing market across the United States. Now, going on to the next final slide is what's going on per segment. Now, if we look at our numbers week over week in each tranche of properties, we're showing active and under contract homes. In the under 250 segment, we had 662 active listings, and we had 526 under contract. Now, that's a big drop from the previous week where we had 742 active and then a big spike in 468 pending. So that entry market is showing pretty big change in demand and available inventory. Now, as we move up into our core market, we had a decrease. So last week we were at 3,637 homes active for sale. This week we're down to 3,508. The under contracts again increased week over week from 1,972 homes to 2,251. So again, another pretty healthy jump. And then as we move a little further up, now there's a slight increase in the mid-luxury segments at the 500 to 750 range. We went down a little bit from last week's number of 899 down to 882. And then under contracts, we went from 296 to 362. So again, demand picking up there. In the 750 to $1 million price segment, we slight change week over week from 320 active listings to 318. Under contracts, we actually did spike up there from 74 to 101, so almost a 30, roughly a 30% increase. And lastly, the luxury segment, $1 million home plus price points. Listings last week were 486, so we actually ticked upward to 505. So we're starting to see the luxury segment starting to come online with regards to inventory. So we saw a healthy increase in inventory there. And then under contracts, not much week over week change from 70 last week to 69 this week. So if we were to kind of take a look at it by market segment, we are in a probably what we would say a strong seller position, or at least a seller's position in the houses in the first tranche from 0 to the 250, the entry level, and then the median, and then also in the median price segments, which is 250. What we like to kind of call that 250 to 500,000. That's kind of our core market here in Las Vegas. When we start moving upwards, the 500 to 750, that's kind of a little bit more of a balanced market, little opportunities for buyers and sellers. And then as we move up a little bit, it's again kind of a buyer seller's opportunity. In the luxury segment, buyers definitely have some opportunities to choose from. Now, again, what kind of houses are moving? We're probably not at the point where anything is going to sell immediately. And that means, houses that probably haven't seen some renovations in a while, unless they're just priced correctly, priced right. But if you're trying to maximize or extract maximum equity or selling price out of the home, you may be on the market a little longer. Again, it gets down to some of the real basics, and we've just seen it transaction over transaction. Fresh coat of paint, carpeting changes, or refresh to the flooring, especially if we went from, let's say, 25-year-old square porcelain tiles to either the plank, the wood laminate flooring. If we see the flooring update too, those help. Then we start looking at the kitchen statuses. I've even seen some, if the paint and the flooring, new fresh carpet, or the flooring's in really good shape, kind of pretty modern, last 5-year design. Even kitchens that are older properties, maybe even with some of the tiles, while that's not the white porcelain tiles, while that's not the preference, so long as they're clean, neat, grouted, maybe appliances are in keeping, maybe more stainless cabinets, and it's got a real cool look to it, that will hold too. And in fact, we saw that in a home we currently have under contract that's about 35 years old now. However, paint and carpet, best things you can do. And I'm sorry that if you look at it and you're trying to sell your property, saying to yourself, I'm not going to be living in it, or you know what, I don't know what to pick. Well, we'll take those two answers real quick. Yes, you're not going to be living in it, but when you moved in, if you moved in new, well, the builder wasn't living in it, so you get to enjoy it from the get-go. Or number two, if it was a resale, hopefully you did have the previous seller update the carpeting so you could go and enjoy it. Because the one thing is for better or worse, buyers are trying to make sure they're conserving on their money. So a recarpeting or a reflooring or a repaint are additional large out-of-pocket expenses that they're already going to be dealing with regard to whether it's an FHA, a conventional, whether it's 10, 20% down. So if they can minimize the amount of out-of-pocket spend, because they know they're going to spend some more money, they got maybe to do furniture, maybe window coverings, you name it, just minimizing that for them is huge. And you're going to make up with it in maximizing some of your equity position in your house. So think of it that way. And two, if you don't know the colors, it's pretty simple. Go online, look around, go into a model, go to a development, go see what the paint is. And for the last several years, Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray, a little shout out to that paint color. If you like the grays, it even works with some beiges. Not that hard. So don't worry about, I don't know what to paint it for the new owners. We can figure that out pretty fast. And also with the carpeting, we can go, we've got great resources to find out what is selling well and ones that complement. Grays are still in. Some beiges are still in, and also a good blend of this. We don't want to get out of the neutrals, because the neutrals help with people needing the accent, whether it's their furniture, their artwork, or if they want to put up accent walls. Great. They'll do that when they move in, but provide them a great neutral canvas to build off of. And that is a great way to maximize your house in sale in this market space. So that's my 2 cents. Anyway, love to hear what you're thinking about the market. We get a lot of questions, a lot of concerns about, is there going to be a crash? Is there going to be, is this 2008 all over again? Well, right now, we've been kind of 2.5 months into this, approaching month 3. We've got COVID. Unfortunately, too, we've had these issues with the protests and some of the riots, unemployment. We have had a lot of factors that kind of bring us down. But you know what? We've also got a lot of factors that are bringing us up if we look at the entire picture. So that's why we're here. We want to provide you with the numbers so you know what's going on, you know what the changes are, so you can make the best decision you want about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Because why? Because number one, real estate is one of the biggest wealth builders that we have here in the country. Number two, peace of mind, having security and a home and stability for your family. And then, number three, there's an opportunity for, again, that wealth building equity, building something that you have for later on in life. So if you have questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, do us a favor, message out to us. Let's set up a Zoom call. Let's set up a Skype appointment. Let's chat and go over those questions you've got, so you have the information you need to make the right decision. And we're not, so especially if you're thinking about 2020, even if you're thinking about 2021 because things aren't lining up just right, that's okay. We just want to make sure you get the information, so we're happy to chat. So again, good numbers, good strength we're seeing. Next week, we'll have the full recap of May. So we'll have a bigger deep dive as to the May recap on the Las Vegas housing market. But in the meantime, week over week numbers still showing positive signs. Exciting to see this Friday the casinos starting to reopen. We're going to watch those unemployment numbers and how they tick, see if they start ticking down with any noticeable amount here over the next couple of weeks as the city reopens, as life begins to turn to what we would maybe call our new normal. So, on behalf of Colleen Schaefer, I'm Don Cramer. We make up the Cramer Group at Urban Nest Realty. We're more now than ever, your real estate experience matters. So we appreciate you tuning in. We wish you a wonderful day. Take care. Till next time. Bye-bye.